Hello, welcome to Jennifer's Magical Book Club. Today I'm here to read a novel which is called Paperboy. I'm going to start from chapter 15. I think it's almost the end of this book. I'm so happy. So I'm going to start. When I had delivered Mr. Sparrow's paper earlier in the day, the front door had been closed as usual, but at collection time it was propped up open with a crate of books. Mr. Sparrow's old bicycle with the rusted handlebars was on the porch leaning up against the house. The basket on the front of the bicycle had held something that looked like a canvas sack with straps on it. I stuck my head in the door and called out for him instead of ringing the doorbell. Mr. Sparrow answered from the back of the house. "Be there in a moment, messenger. Do come in." I listened in my head again to the way he put the "do" before the "come in." He could add one little word to a sentence, and that word would make all the words more important. Inside the house, some of the crates of books had been moved around with more crates sitting in the middle of the floor, but the room didn't feel right to me. A white duffel bag like the one our team carried Batson was on the floor with clothes and books besides it. Constantine Spiral was printed on the white bag in faded black square letters. Beneath the name was S.S. Patrick Henry. I didn't like what I saw. My father's packed bags on the beds always made me feel bad, and Mr. Sparrow's duffel bag was giving me a double whammy to the stomach. Mr. Sparrow came into the room with a small green bottle in his hand. He poured a little of what was in the bottle in his other hand and began patting his face and neck. He was in khaki pants and a t-shirt so white and clean that it looked like Ma'am had just washed and ironed it. Lilac deference, the best antidotes in the world for clothes potters below decks. Mr. Sparrow was smiling, and his voice had an excited sound. "You're going away?" The words spilled out of my mouth before I could think about stuttering. Even the G sound that usually stopped me dead in the tracks. "An investigative report, you are." "Yes, I'm going on a short excursion, but I'll be back in the fall." "Where?" "Early tomorrow I'm catching a tow handed up the Mississippi, and then I'll take my bicycle and jump ship somewhere in the Bagger State, Wisconsin." I felt like being a smart mouth and telling Mr. Sparrow that I had learned all the way back in the 4th grade that Wisconsin was the Badger State, but I could feel myself getting upset and everything clogging up inside of me. When I didn't say anything, Mr. Sparrow kept on talking. "The 7 seas and the 7 continents have long been my ports of call, and now I want to explore the 7 states of the Great Lakes." I didn't like the way Mr. Sparrow kept saying 7. 7 was my favorite number, and a number I could say most of the time. Mickey Mental was number 7. I saw a green scoreboard with a 7 besides Mr. Sparrow's name and a big fat 0 besides my name. I tried to keep myself from looking too down in the dumps because it was plain to see that Mr. Sparrow was excited about his trip and all his 7s. But covering up my feelings when something got sprung on me was another thing I wasn't very good at. He stood in the middle of the room studying me and patting his face with a white towel he had pulled out of his bag. I had considered leaving earlier in the week on another tow up the Mississippi, but I wanted to make sure we had a good conversation before I left, and we had some unfinished business. My stutter always got worse when someone drew me a curve like Mr. Sparrow had just done with his packed bags. Sure, I wanted to know about the fourth word, but I wanted to come down inside and wait until I could talk better. Could I do the rest of my collecting and then comes back? Certainly, messenger. That will give me a chance to get shipshape here. I'll be expecting you forthwith. I gave him the best smile I could come up with and backed out the door. I had come around to thinking that Mr. Sparrow was the only person I could talk to about my father not being the man who made me with my mother. I had planned on asking him if I could still visit him each week, even after I was done filling in on the route. And now Mr. Sparrow was packing a bag on me. So I'm done till page 117, the half. So I'm going to continue from the rest. I hope you enjoyed and have a nice day. Bye! See you later.